All right, so I'm not giving this an intro yet because it doesn't have a name. This is just the state of the 5-tool Mooks. I gave an address a while ago on Patreon, and that we only had 9 people. I don't know how many people we have on there now. Shelby is hanging out with me. Hello.
Hello, Seth.
Shelby is I don't know, she's essential to the operation. I don't want to say she's the most essential to the operation because I don't want to offend certain people like Richie or my wife, but I don't think I could do it without her. And it's funny because when Shelby came to me, I think I had all of my people that I thought I was going to, build this project with. And now they're all gone. And it's Shelby and I, and, a couple of other people and now we're looking for those other people to go on this journey with. So, we're going to get into a couple of things here and like why we're doing this. And why I've wanted to do a podcast kind of thing for a while. And I wanted to do it with you, Shelby. And I think it took a while for us to just talk. We have our meetings every week. And I just realized like, you can make fun of me. I can make fun of you. It's not really that serious. You get it. So I finally felt like today was the right time on Passover to do that. Hello.
Yes, I think we make a great team. It's so funny to me how this started because literally I just shot my shot in your DMs. Like I just was sitting on my couch and I saw some 5-tool stuff, I think from Amy. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send a DM and see where this goes. And look where it's taken us.
Yeah.
It's been like 7 months, Seth.
I know.
We've survived 7 months. It's insane.
We're barely surviving. So we're doing this show, and I think that this isn't going to be just a Patreon show because only 2 people would hear it. Like we're going to put this show out, and then we're going to give you guys a little bit of taste of what we're going to do. But so we obviously have to make money on this. There are people that are paying for the expenses of the blog, the website, the podcast hosting. The people get paid here, not me, but the writers get paid because everybody should get paid. So we have to make some money essentially. And I set up Patreon a long time ago when we were getting rolling, but it was like, hey, I just, whatever, you just have to have a Patreon. But we only had one sponsor, Doritos. We signed up with them for like a 6-month deal, and it was just a little bit of money, but we wanted to just try to build like a partnership to where at the end of the 6-month deal, we went and we was like, hey, now let's do something bigger. We've kind of shown you, what we can do or what we can't do because they dropped us. It's over. So essentially right now we're sitting here and we have no sponsors. I'm not worried at all because it's the everything we pay for, the budget and all that, it's not that high to where, people are going to bail on this project, but we have to try to come up with a way to make some money. And the best way that I can think about, or the best thing that I can come up with is doing this because I'm not a sales guy. I'm not going to reach out to businesses and go sit down and try to be like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not me. We have people that can do that, and they're going to do that. But I want to try to do my part for bringing in cash. And I think that's going to be heading up some content on Patreon. And my idea, like I said, was to do it with Shelby. It's going to be just a show about whatever. I know it's like, oh, what's your show going to be about? I don't know. It's going to be about whatever the fuck we want it to be about. We're going to talk about our lives. Shelby's interesting. I'm somewhat interesting. If there's nothing going on, we won't talk about it, But like, I just feel like for people that are catching on to what 5-tool Mooks is, or I want them to know who you are. I want them to know who I am, and doing this kind of content in this medium is the best way. They're not going to get to know you in a better way through here than they would if they heard or if they saw some of your tweets or your blogs or anything like that. So I feel like this is the best way to connect. I feel good about what this is. It sucks that we don't have a sponsor right now, but again, not worried. I just like to come up with, what's the next idea to spring into action. So Shelby was on vacation when I told her. I was like, hey, we lost our sponsor. So how did you feel about that?
I was several painkillers deep. Not painkillers, the pill. There's a rum drink in the islands called a painkiller. So I was sipping on those, and I saw that text, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have another one, and I'll deal with this when I get back. Because yeah, it's a little disheartening, but ultimately the community that we've built with 5-tool has just been incredible. Like the crystal ball things I run on Twitter, we have been able to reach out to, actually, we've had small businesses reach out to us and offer prizes for this giveaway that we do for every Lightning game. And it's just been really awesome to see the kind of support we've got just from people in the community without even having to ask or beg for anything. So I believe in our community. It's just going to grow and get stronger. And I know we'll find our next sponsor.
Yeah.
Soon.
And listen, we've got people that are looking for sponsors, and there's other things, you know, people think that, the sponsor thought that we had a lack of vision and direction, and actually we do, and that's part of the plan, and we're okay with that. You know, we got to throw a bunch of stuff up against the wall to see what sticks. I think essentially one day this might just become some sort of off the wall NHL, you know, type of blog with, you know, leaning towards covering the Lightning with, you know, I think that could be it. Like if all of it, because I'll tell you right now, looking at all the stuff we do, you know, the hockey stuff does the best. I have an audience for that, you know, being with the Lightning and doing the block party and some other content for them. I've tried to pass that over to you. You had the idea to give away some stuff, you know, during every Lightning game on Twitter. And I think you wanted to run it through the 5 Tool account, and I wanted to run it through your own account. I wanted to build you up. And you even tweeted, I think the other day, that you got like 700 followers or something.
Yeah, your plan has worked wonderfully. I mean, it's been great, just not just from running the giveaway, but just becoming like really engaged with the Lightning community on Twitter. Like I just passed 700 followers. I think when I joined the blog, Seth, I had like maybe 100, maybe, because I had just started the new account. So
I remember I looked, and it was like it was very vividly. It was like, I think I remember like 123, and I was like, I just remember once I was like, okay. But you know what? You had something to offer. You were always tweeting. You had good shit about the Lightning. And so that's why I was like, I could build you up, because I know if there's a handful of things that I know in life. Like I have very few skills, and there's a handful of things that I know, but I know that how the Lightning community embraces, witty people, like that people that have, funny things to say, that love the Lightning. So I knew that would be a shoo-in, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get you indoctrinated into, my audience. And that's kind of happened. So, and you're all your tweets are a bigger deal than mine now. So,
wow.
Well, yeah, that's great. You've got your people are very they're very locked in on what you do. And I think that's because, I've had a Twitter for, I don't know, like 15 years. I've been on the radio. I've done 20 different things. People are following me for who knows what reasons. People are following you because they know it's about the Lightning. So they're coming to you for a reason. Eventually, I want there to be one reason why people come to us for the blog, or than all the other crazy stuff we cover. So we've got this, like, we don't care if you guys don't want to go on Patreon. Like, I might have cared a week ago before I just got another job. I might have cared a lot. I was actually thought this was going to be the only way I could make money for a while. But listen, I got a full-time job with benefits. I'm good. Shelby's good. We're not poor. We're just trying to build something. Like I make enough money to take care of stuff, not to necessarily keep this, whatever this is, going. So, even I think Captain Creamsicle, I love Captain Creamsicle, by the way, one of our newest writers, writes like 5 blogs a week. I think he's paying Patreon more than anybody. He writes for us. He's literally paying to work for us, which is a good business model we might want to look at, Shelby, moving forward. Absolutely. But I need to get the captain on payroll, at least break it even, because I love that guy. I'm happy to have him. We've got Richie, who does great wrestling stuff and looks over all of our articles, because, we're not all bright. I'm not talking about me. Corey's good. We've got a lot of good people that are with us. And so we just have to find out a way to just, kind of fight through and talk about that. It's a cliche, but we have to try to get to that next level. And I kind of feel like I have to drive that. But I feel now even though the person that finances the blog also fired me from my last full-time job, I feel like I'm in a very good place, even though I'm busier than I have been in my entire life, because I have a real job for the first time ever. I just feel good about this, and I want to move it forward. I would have canceled this normally, Shelby, today, 2:00, having to go to my mom's house. That sucks the energy out of me, because my brothers, people just attack me for what I'm wearing, for what I'm doing in my life. It's a whole thing. So it's exhausting. So I would have normally canceled, but I wanted to do this because I told Phoebe, I was like, I'm dedicated to 5 Tool Mooks. And I think you and I being out in front of it, and the faces and the voices is what's going to, I don't know, it's what's going to keep us around until we can get that next wave of talent in.
Yeah, for sure. And congratulations on beating unemployment after 1 week. I mean, that was a world record, I think, on the turnaround. I mean, that was pretty incredible. Are you happy about the new job? You like it?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like you know, I'm a manager and it's an official manager. Oh, look here. They give you books. Like I got a book to read. Hold on.
Oh boy. You got some homework to do?
Yeah.
Okay. CEO Tools 2.0. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's cool. I'm work with two 25-year-old girls. I'm a social media content marketing manager. I don't know my title. A client asked me this week what my title was, and I was like, I don't know. I hate titles. Like, you know, I'm in charge of Twitter, but you know, I'm working with, you know, two girls. Obviously, you're in your later 20s now. When I met you, you were, you know, in your shade.
Okay,
In your
later 20s is I'm turning 26 on Tuesday. Okay, I'm uninsured for, you know, I got insurance for another 3 days before I hit the late 20s. Okay?
You were in the mid 20s when I met you, so I can relate. Like I don't feel like I'm like out of touch or, you know, I'm that old guy. I feel like I can talk to anybody or work with anybody. And it's what I've always wanted. It's why I started Five Tool Mooks, because I wanted to work with creative, hungry people. And the marketing agency I work for, Bake More Pies, that's these people they're tenacious. They want, you know, they want to excel at life. They haven't been beaten down by the world like I have, you know. It's so there's so many fresh, and I don't want to ruin that for them. I want to help them achieve whatever they want to achieve, but we're a team and it feels good. And, you know, all week we're like, hey, you know, that we like this. And I think that's what you want to be a part of. You want to be a part of a team where everything's positive. I'm sure it'll eventually devolve into all of us shit talking and we all hate each other and try to get each other fired. It hasn't happened that way on Five Tool Mooks yet, but, you know, it feels good to just be part of a positive team. And that was something that I had at times in radio, but not for extended periods of time where, you know, it felt as right as it does now.
That's good. It's always like a gut feeling, I think. Like, you know when it's right. And it sounds like you're really enjoying yourself. And I hope the honeymoon phase lasts forever, you know, just like Five Tool Mooks.
It's the 9-to-5 life, man. It's not easy. You know, but I work from home 3 days a week, which is good. I go to the office 2 days a week. So the office days are hard because, you know, I like to roam. When I'm at home, I roam around. Like I go for walks. Like maybe I'll lay down for a few minutes. You know, I'm not just sitting at my computer for 9 hours. I don't fucking think anybody does that works at home. You don't do that, right?
No, absolutely not. I probably work 3 hours a day when I work from home. I watched Encanto yesterday during work, and I know that's a kid's movie. I'm sure you've seen that with your daughter, right? Encanto.
I've seen it a million times.
Okay,
you know?
So I watched it yesterday, and I was actually like very impressed. I thought it was a good movie. I'm sure after you watch it a million times, you're probably like, "Fuck this shit," and fuck Bruno. But I thought it was great. I was like, "This is awesome. I could get high and watch this, and it would be incredible."
No, actually, Encanto, I've said, and you know, I don't know if it's, you know, from getting high or not, but I've said like the colors in Encanto, like I think I walked by like the first time my daughter was watching it, and like just the purples and all the colors, it was like, whoa! I go, this is sucking me in. Then they got the good songs, and yeah, it's a hit. Disney has a hit. They also put out about 10 other movies just like that that are completely suck. We don't hear about those at all. So I'm glad Encanto is definitely. It's a big one.
It was a nice, you know, watch during a Friday at work. It mellowed me out, got me ready for the weekend. But yeah, working from home, it's nice to kind of have the opportunity to work at your own pace.
Yeah, so. And you know, when I'm at the office, like I have to go and I'm going outside every few minutes. I already had an anxiety breakdown attack during my first week where I had to go tell my boss that I freak out and stuff. He's like, okay. He's like, all right, you know, I just don't want it to affect any business. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna freak out at any meetings or anything. It's a lot. It's a lot to have to carry around all this stuff and then feel like I have to unload it on people so they know the real me. Because that's all I just want people to know just who I am and what I'm about. And if you don't like me, I'm totally cool with that. I just want to let you know, like I'm a little fucked up sometimes. So, yeah, I don't know what the questions were, where we were going. You talked about Encanto. I talked about being fucked up, but
direction.
Yeah, Encanto, good movie. So, we had a bunch of things we we're going to talk about.
I mean, we were talking about your daughter. You texted me and told me that your daughter was on quote unquote red at school this week. So what is that? Because I don't have kids yet, so I have no idea what any of this stuff is.
Yeah, this was where I had to be a parent this week, which sucks. Yeah, but they have a stupid.
Sucks.
They have a stupid. Well, I just like to be a friend. They have a dumb color coding thing at school where if you're on purple, you get a lollipop, and if you're on red, it's parent contact. And apparently, my daughter went down to red this week, where she just wasn't listening to the teacher whatsoever. So it's like Phoebe calls me and texts me, and I was like, oh God, okay. I was like, what are we gonna do here? Because we don't really. I haven't had to really punish her, like she's hasn't done anything where we're like, oh, you got it, we're doing this, maybe we'll take the iPad away, but nothing. And I was like, all right, I got to figure something out here. I was like, all
and
right.
How old is she?
She's going to be 5 at the end of May.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, what? All right. She's going to go to bed as soon as she gets home. No iPad. Then Phoebe calls me and like all hell's breaking loose. Like Sammy's screaming in the background and stuff. And I was like, and then Phoebe put me on speaker and then like I had to like scream. And so that really freaked Sam out. And then they were going to like Chichio's. And I was like, listen, if she's started screaming in Chichio's, I was like, just leave her there. So she heard all this, which was probably really bad. And then she came home and she was better. And she goes, Daddy, she goes, if I'm on red tomorrow, you're not going to yell at me, are you? And I said, no. I said, no, I'm not. I go, you can be on purple if you want to be. I said, it's totally up to you, what color you want to be on. But then what I also thought, Shelby, like I also think a color code in school is stupid because nothing
seems a little fascist. Like we're monitoring the 5-year-old's emotional state. Like,
right. But the thing is that there's nothing even close to something like that in real life. Like there's no, if you have a fucking bad day and you don't listen to your boss, well, like whatever, that's just what happens sometimes. And also she's been pushed down by other boys that are in the class, like marked up and stuff. And those kids don't get sent home. So I also think that she's seen kids go to red and nothing happened. I think that she's smart and knows that nothing is going to really happen to her, either at school or at home, which we're going to change now. But yeah, there was a few things that were bothering me this week, but yeah, that was it. I'm not mad at her for being on red, but it's the whole thing is just, the whole thing's fucked. Like my hair.
We'll introduce a color system with the writers at 5 Tool Mooks. Like if you're not sending an article for weeks and weeks and weeks, you're going to go on red.
I don't even need a color. I can keep it in my head, like I know who's sending us shit and who's not. We know who's part of this. We know who we thought we've had people penciled in as like, the next Shelby, and they've completely fallen off the face of the earth. We've all struck out a couple times. So with bringing people in. That being said, if you'd like to join our staff, please hit us up.
Yes, we promise we're awesome.
Yeah, 5 Tool Mooks, or we're hiring and still paying for the time being. So we're not just I don't want to just do this, this kind of content, but we're gonna do a bunch of different things and put it up here on Patreon. The good thing about where I work now is finally incredible video editors. Like I will be learning about, do you know SEO?
Yeah,
like search, and I'm learning about that. I'm learning about website, social media, websites, so much. Like I know about it. I know enough about it to get the job, and now I'm learning more. And it's all stuff that we can use for the website and to help us. And it's almost like free college. I feel like I'm getting now. So I feel like this job that I got can only, like, I would maybe even consider like hiring them to help us out, whatever that looks like. So I think everything's going well, and that's why I wanted to do this, despite whatever the undertones of this were the podcast. Everything's going great. We don't care when sponsors drop. I just get more motivated. I don't care. So it doesn't depress me. We'll just go get 2 more.
Yeah, we're in a good place. I'm still in a very good place mentally, emotionally, physically. I mean, I'm still riding the high from my vacation. Just hit the 700 followers. Lightning clinched the playoffs. Like I'm in a good spot, and the blog's in a good spot. I think we're headed for bigger and better things, as we always are.
That's good. Yeah, Shelby's back from vacation at 700 followers, and I wish that was all that I needed to sway how I feel. All right, this is good. I got to get to my mom's house, and
yeah, enjoy the cilantro or parsley at Passover, and I wish you guys all the best.
Oh man, it's so bad. It's so bad. Have you been to a chiropractor before?
I have, yeah.
Man, I want to go. I've been watching the videos on I've been trying to get my algorithms to just be baseball cards and chiropractor videos, but I can't stop watching the videos of like people getting their whole bodies and necks cracked. I really want that to
Yeah.
happen.
Supposedly it's kind of like a junk science. Like it's like apparently like long term it doesn't really do too much, but in the moment like it feels good. I don't know.
Well, what's
I
wrong with that? Like, I
Well,
mean, I don't,
exactly. I'm a very here and now pleasure
yeah.
type of person. So yeah, I get it. But I stopped going. I went for a while after like got into a car accident when I was in high school. And it was all fine and good, but my spine is still like a question mark. So I mean, didn't really do much.
Oh man. But like when they
Yeah.
jerk your neck and stuff like that, it feels good.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like I think it like when you crack your neck, I think it like it's like
Releases stuff.
something pops and releases. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor and neither are the chiropractors, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, try it.
if
Try to
you're
write a blog about it.
if you're a chiropractor, we would love to have you advertise on our podcast. We'd interview you about popping and cracking people, and we could give a live pop and crack demonstration either at Shelby's home in Georgia or my home in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yeah, hit
Yeah,
us up,
we'll
chiropractors.
do that. Any weirdos want to show up to Shelby's house? Let me know. We'll send a camera crew that we don't have. All right, I think we did a good job. I'll get this out tomorrow. I can't do
All
this
right.
shit. I'm too busy. Good
Yeah, I
job,
know.
Shelby. We'll be doing more of this stuff. It'll be a lot better than whatever I spewed out today. Thank you. Go to 5toolmooks.com and go Bolts. Bye.
Good shit.